When we think of superheroes, we imagine gods, warriors, and impossible strength. But what if I told you one of Hollywood's strongest men came from one of Australia's smallest towns, with no money, no connections, and a dream that seemed completely out of reach? Today, we're diving into the story of Chris Hemsworth, the man who went from cleaning floors and auditioning for soap operas to becoming Thor, one of the most iconic characters in movie history. But behind the muscles, fame, and Marvel success, there's a story of humility, family, fear, and finding peace beyond Hollywood. This is From Small Town to Superhero, the Chris Hemsworth story. Early life, the Aussie dreamer. Chris Hemsworth was born on August 11th, 1983 in Melbourne, Australia. He grew up with his two brothers, Luke and Liam, in a working-class family that faced more challenges than comfort. Their father, Craig, worked in social services, while their mother, Leonie, was an English teacher. The Hemsworths didn't have much money. At times, they struggled to pay the bills. Chris has often said he remembers his parents worrying about finances and how that drove him to chase something bigger. The family moved around a lot, from Melbourne to a cattle station in the outback. Chris spent his childhood surrounded by nature, surfing, and helping with chores. That tough outdoor life built his discipline long before the gym ever did. He once said, "We didn't have much growing up, but we had each other, and that was enough." Early struggles, the fight to make it. Like most dreamers, Chris didn't have a straight path to success. Before the world knew him as Thor, he was just another struggling actor in Sydney. He auditioned for small TV roles, commercials, anything that could get him on screen. He even appeared briefly in the Australian soap Home and Away, which became his first real break. But it wasn't glamorous. The pay was modest, the fame was local, and Hollywood felt galaxies away. When his contract ended, Chris decided to take the leap. He packed his bags, flew to Los Angeles, and started from scratch. No home, no car, no plan B. In one interview, he laughed and said, "I remember not even having enough for rent. I'd eat what I could afford. It wasn't glamorous, but it was real." For 2 years, he auditioned nonstop and got rejected nonstop. He tried out for the 2009 Star Trek film, hoping for a small part. He got just 5 minutes of screen time as George Kirk, but it changed his life. That short performance made casting directors take notice. Becoming Thor, the breakthrough. Then came 2010. Marvel Studios was searching for their god of thunder, Thor. Big names were on the list. Established stars, already famous actors. Chris? He wasn't even close to being a frontrunner. In fact, he almost didn't get the part. His first audition didn't impress anyone. But his brother Liam also auditioned and got close to landing it. When producers reconsidered the casting, Chris got another shot. And this time, he nailed it. The charisma, the strength, the humor, it was all there. Director Kenneth Branagh later said, "Chris didn't just play Thor, he was Thor." When Thor released in 2011, it launched him into superstardom. Within a year, he was on screen alongside Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans in The Avengers. The kid from the Australian outback was now a global icon. Fame, money, and identity. With fame came everything. Money, attention, expectations. For a while, Chris was on top of the world, but even superheroes have doubts. He's admitted that the early years of fame were overwhelming. He was working nonstop, flying between continents, doing press tours, training for roles, and missing home. He said, "There was a time I was so focused on building my career that I lost sight of why I started." Despite earning millions, Chris still remembered the days when his family struggled. That's why he started sending money home, helping his parents pay off their debts, something he called the greatest moment of his life. Unlike many in Hollywood, he stayed humble, choosing to live away from Los Angeles near the ocean in Byron Bay, Australia. Next, he built a home where his kids could grow up in nature, just like he did. Love and family, finding balance. In 2010, just before Thor changed everything, Chris met Elsa Pataky, a Spanish actress and model. They clicked instantly, and within months they were married. Together they have 3 children, India, Tristan, and Sasha. Elsa has often said that fame never impressed her. It was Chris's kindness and simplicity that did. For Chris, Elsa became the grounding force in his life. He once shared, "My wife and kids remind me every day that I'm just dad, not a movie star." Balancing fatherhood and fame isn't easy. At one point, Chris stepped away from acting for nearly a year just to be with his family. He wanted to watch his kids grow up, surf with them, and live life off camera. The health obsession, strength, and mindset. We can't talk about Chris Hemsworth without mentioning his insane dedication to fitness. But for Chris, it's never just been about looking good on screen. It's about longevity, about living a stronger, longer, and healthier life. In 2022, his documentary series Limitless showed him testing the limits of his body and mind, from extreme fasting and freezing waters to climbing 100-foot ropes and confronting fear. During filming, Chris discovered something shocking. He carries 2 copies of a gene linked to Alzheimer's disease. It means he has a much higher chance of developing it later in life. That discovery changed everything. He said, "It made me think about what really matters. Not fame, not money, but memories, family, health." After that, he took a break from acting to focus on life itself, something few stars have the courage to do. Beyond the hammer, building his legacy. Chris Hemsworth isn't just an actor anymore. He's an entrepreneur, environmentalist, and wellness advocate. He launched Center, a fitness and mindfulness app designed to help people train, eat, and live like him. Not to be superheroes, but to be healthier humans. He's also deeply involved in charities across Australia, supporting children's hospitals, conservation efforts, and disaster relief. And though he's one of the highest paid actors in the world, he still returns to Byron Bay, still surfs, still spends weekends barbecuing with family. That's who Chris Hemsworth really is, a grounded man in an ungrounded industry. The philosophy, what it means to be strong. If there's one thing Chris has taught the world, it's that strength isn't just about muscle, it's about mindset. He often says, "You can have all the success in the world, but if you're not happy, it's pointless." He's a reminder that real power isn't found in a hammer, or fame, or fortune. It's found in how you live, how you love, and how you grow. From the dusty plains of Australia to billion-dollar movie sets, Chris Hemsworth's story is proof that humility can survive fame, and that even a superhero's greatest achievement might be the life he builds off-screen. Closing, the legacy of Chris Hemsworth. So what do we take from Chris Hemsworth's journey? That no matter where you start, a small town, a struggling family, a distant dream, you can build something extraordinary through discipline, faith, and kindness. Chris reminds us that being a hero has nothing to do with superpowers. It's about showing up for the people you love, facing your fears, and staying true to who you are. He's living proof that you don't need to be immortal to make an impact. You just need heart. Thanks for tuning in to From Small Town to Superhero. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the podcast and share it with someone chasing their own dream. Next week, we'll explore another journey of fame, failure, and transformation. Until then, stay strong, stay grounded, and remember, even heroes are human.